When Anthony Bourdain died by suicide, I started to question my own perceptions of happiness. That shouldn't have been his death. Why was it? He brought people together through the simple act of sharing food. He was humbled by those he met, eager and ready to listen. He had a network of compassionate friends the world over that he could turn to in times of need. All of that good fortune wasn't enough currency to pay his way. That demon that took him had a name, and its name was doubt. His passing meant something disturbing to me. The demons cannot be destroyed. You can beat them back, you can deny them, but you cannot defeat them. Depression is not about you breaking your new phone, or your boyfriend or girlfriend leaving you. It's not about the worst day of your life. Real depression doesn't need a reason to be there. It's what you're left with at the end of the day. And it's doubt that convinces you in your weakest moment that things can't get any better. Depression is there no matter how well things are going for you, and no amount of drugs, therapy, or new age bullshit is going to make any difference. No, it takes aggressive acceptance. Make it work for you. And distract doubt with a good fight.
Stand over there. I want you guys to see it before each other. So the thing was still alive, took its last few breaths, and I thought, ooh, I'm taking this thing. Now I've got the rest of it too, but I just grabbed a little bit of it. You ready? Close your eyes, both of you. I'll tell you when to open them. Keep them closed. Open it.
Most goddamn fucking seriously cool place. We do tons of drugs down here.
I can tell.
I have done so much fucking acid down here. You have no idea. I fucking fried my balls off. Right here. Okay, look. This is called freak out drugs. Everyone. This whole fucking thing is about drugs. Am I not right?
So here was the vision. I remembered that, and then I was looking in the mirror in the vision, but I was a kid again, and I stepped into the mirror. So, in the vision, me now stepped into the mirror, and I was naked, and I walked to a beautiful river, and on my side of the river was a green, beautiful environment, you know, just normal, beautiful world, and I walked down to the river. On the opposite side was a dark and dismal swamp and a dark, dark forest. And in the forest, I yelled into the forest, "Come and drink water! Come and drink!" And you hear, come out of the forest. And I stop, and out of the forest comes a child, me. At about 8 years old, and I'm naked, and from head to toe I'm blue. And the reason why I was blue is when I was a child, when I used to go running in the woods, I would strip down, and I had a turtle shell, and I would fill it full of these berries, mash them up, paint myself blue, put on a loincloth, and run through the hills with my dogs.
Dude, healing the inner child within. I've heard about this. Like, if something happens to you at a certain age, you freeze in that age, and even though you grow up,
you fracture.
You still, yes, you fracture, and you have a child inside of you. So you basically need to be your own father, and you need to grow this children up into your size.
And who is this child, right? Who is it? Go back and rediscover it. Because there's two sides to the child, too. There's the light and the dark.
I could sit here for an hour and rant about the emotional incontinence of this country. All the disgusting displays of ego and self-entitlement. The virtue-signaling social justice warriors. I could talk about how social media has destroyed the fabric of this country. No one seems to care. But I'm not going to do that. I don't want my life to be one long, prolonged reaction to other people's behavior. I want to squelch that static and pick up on different frequencies.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Can you turn the light back on so we might be able to ask you another question? And please pull your energy back and turn that flashlight back on. Thank you. Does anybody know what this room was originally?
What room originally?
Was this for the Lambert family? Was the room for the Lambert?
Lambert family.
Yeah.
I came on.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have a young child?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a few died,
She
actually.
had a couple that died, I think.
The psychic said the heaviness she felt the same place that Peggy did was because she felt children energy.
Was that little girl died in that room?
Can you pull your energy back so we might be able to ask you another question?
Or
Thank you.
Are you the little girl that tilt the pictures?
there you go.
Thank you. You pull your energy back.
And
Honey, pull your energy back so we can talk to you again and ask another question. Pull back. Thank you.
do you want to go downstairs?
So, you are sweating.
I'll knock on the door since the phones aren't working. All right.
That's the
Well,
fancy.
that-
Lambert's
okay.
son, Henry Mary Lambert, was
Right there. And she, I don't know whose she is. She might be Frank's. But she'd come right. Frank looks to be relatively in the same age range, and be a runner. So he must have had other things. So he could have dozens. 3:30, 4, and I kept feeling like something was touching me on the bed, like real light, not like poking at me, but like touching me on the bed. And I ignored that for a long time because we were recording sound, so I didn't want to make any noise or anything. But somewhere between 3:30 and 4, I looked over here, and it is highly possible that something was standing here.
Little girl?
I think so.
So you
Little
basically.
short person. I mean, it was like, okay, so it could have just been, I'm short too.
Mm.
But, like, little short person and light colored outfit, dark colored hair. I can tell you that, but it was also 4 in the morning and dark in here. Holding something that was also light colored. And if it was a little girl, she was like holding an animal, a stuffed thing, a toy, a something. But like one hand up holding it, and it was seriously gone in like 3 seconds.
In the book, I talk about the first paranormal experience I had, which had a major impact on my life. I wanted to analyze the footage for you because people love to debunk these experiences with the same, tired excuses, plays of light. Your flashlight did this, reflections, optical illusions, and whatnot. So I wanted to eliminate those and present you with something that I think is genuine.
Is that a fucking flashlight right there?
Let's see. You don't want any sparks going on in
Yeah.
the furnace.
There's a Bloody Mary on the door.
And a deck awaits here.
It's a closet.
And we'll just go hide out in the tower.
Guys, that exit light's on too. Right there.
The what?
Mushroom place where they can all get together and just ram each other, bump, be like.
Anything interesting down there?
Dude, this is badass. There needs to... Dan, when you get like your reward, buy the building.
Then on that,
There's the fireplace, man. There's the fireplace.
No, but did you feel the energy change from that stair to
Yeah.
this floor?
Guys,
We come in
over
peace.
We are here just
Put the light to observe.
We are not here to harm. There's some major activities. You can totally
freezing.
feel it. Like,
The fuck?
Two people died right here, man. And freeze. Stop the tape, rewind. In the blink of an eye, you'd miss it. And a part of me wishes that I had. Using a normal flashlight, if you stand further away from the subject, you'll create the halo effect, with the center of it being dark. And even if you're focusing on something in the foreground, you're going to illuminate things in the background. At close range, this is what a flashlight does to a human face. It's a total washout, which is the exact opposite of what I captured. So what this means is that this figure is self-illuminating. It's not lit by an exterior lighting source. In the brief second that it's on camera, I'm the one that's moving, not the figure, which makes me wonder what would have happened if I'd stayed on it a little bit longer. And that's the thing, I sat in front of that fireplace for a good 7 minutes. If that was an object that close to me, within arm's reach, I would have panned back and forth across it a dozen times. I would have seen it right next to me. It was only there for that 1 second, and then it was gone. And then combined with all the other events that happened after the fact that you can read about in the book, I consider this to be the real deal.
Well, she's not acting normal. Well, you know what's so weird? She comes over, she gets drunk, and she's totally open to me and totally nice. And then when she walks out in the morning to see me and she sees me on the porch here smoking, she's very, very, very awkward. And she's like, bye, Hollis, all awkwardly, and like walks off. I'm like,
She goes through major transformations when she's with me in there, dude.
I love her to death, I really do. Like, I think she's a really cool person. But some of the changes that I've seen is exactly what you're talking about. And I'm just like, I asked myself, I'm like, what exactly are we dealing with? And then I got looking at the ramifications. And I was like, shit. I literally was like, okay, what are we going to have to deal with? I'm glad we got Jack Dog. I'm glad we got a guard dog in the house. that would stop a lot of weird shit from being happen, so we don't have to be paranoid. But that's why I ask those questions. I don't know. Two things in the past 2 days. I've watched two people and completely kick offline and be someone else, and then completely kick back into who they are. We are definitely dealing with cross-wiring with these two people that we're dealing with. And the people that hangs out with are clearly, when she was telling me yesterday, because we got talking about that, and then she starts talking about all these people like snorting cocaine and having sex and just fucking all this crazy shit. I was just like, and when she gets drunk, she can't freaking hold her mouth shut. She says weird shit. And so when she was talking last night, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That's who your ex is, and we're having people following us? And she assures us they're not going to do anything to us. And how the fuck do they feel about us? Say if they've seen us. Say if they've looked at us. What are they thinking about us? What are they thinking about doing? What are they thinking we're doing to her?
hauntings at this bed and breakfast centered around the death of a woman named Amelie, who was the original owner of the house. And at the time, she was not looked upon kindly by other people because she took in, wayward men. When she died, it was deemed an accident, but there's speculation about that, and some believe that she was murdered. My mother and I were the only guests in the house that night, and we had free rein to explore the property. There was an exterminator that came in one day. He was up in the attic, and he saw a full-bodied apparition come out from behind the fireplace up there, whatever, and beckon to him in French to come closer to him, and he tore out of the house, and they tried to stop him and ask him what was wrong, and he's told him, he's like, I'm never going back in that house again, and he just bailed. So interesting. That on top of the physical pain I felt going in there and having it go away the second I left, and the obvious change of mood. In each room there was a stack of journals dating back years, and guests were encouraged to write in them. As I skimmed through the general thank yous and positive reviews, it seemed like roughly every 6 months there would be this entry where someone had a paranormal experience that really had a profound effect on them. We had a lovely time at the bed and breakfast. Mint tea juleps were amazing. After a wonderful dinner recommended by our gracious hostess, we retired to our room. That's when the fun began. The bathroom doors opened. I quickly sat up in my bed. The woman standing was glowing as if sent by God. She was an angel with dark flowing hair and eyes of sapphire. My night was truly blessed, and our lives forever changed. I think they're talking about you here. Before we went to sleep, I set up a flashlight on the nightstand and encouraged any spirits present to communicate. Nothing happened. Later on, I awoke suddenly because I felt this overwhelming presence around me, and I instinctively grabbed my camera, and 2 seconds later, this is what happened. Whoa! Just as I turned this on and started recording for absolutely no reason, that came on. Alright, I'm going to assume that I am talking to you, Amelie. Nobody else seems to be here. We've heard a lot of stories that you died falling into a well, and some people think you were murdered. If you're happy, turn that light back on. If you're happy, she will sleep a lot better, since you've startled her. So put her mind at ease, and turn that light on, and let us know that we're friends, and you're not here to hurt us.
Okay.
Maybe you've gotten tired, maybe you've left. Well, hello. Is there something else you're trying to communicate that I can help through yes or no questions? All right. Did you know him personally? Did you know him? Or what? Okay. Was it a boyfriend or a lover that killed you? If that really is the case, I'm sorry. Pull on back. Are you still here?
Without you, you took the part that once was my heart. So why not take over me while loving me? Why not take over me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Jesus, if I thank you, Lord. I give you all the glory. Jesus, I give you all the praise. Jesus, everything. I thank you, Lord. I give you all the glory.
I'm fascinated by that threshold between waking and dream states, where visual and auditory hallucinations appear, where abstract thought becomes symbol and problems find a solution, where all the wildest entities living on the outskirts, waiting to pull you down below the surface, deeper into states of sleep, until you reach that realm where dreams have a narrative. But I'm interested in that first stage and what can be discovered there. You may have been wondering what this key around my neck means. No, it's not the key to my fucking heart. It is a key to snap me back out of my hypnagogic sleep state and jerk me back to reality. As my arm is rested, I'll hold the key with my thumb and forefinger, and when I drift off to sleep... The night before I recorded this narration, I was having a hard time sleeping. I slipped out of consciousness very briefly, but then I snapped back too. And I heard the talons of a large bird walking across the metal roofing of my house. Its call was something between the piercing sound of an eagle and the caw of a crow. The distance between its steps were roughly 3 feet wide, giving me an impression of its size. It called out one more time loudly, and then it fell silent. And I laid there for a moment, trying to visualize this mythic bird that was above my house. And as I thought about it, I fell back asleep. I heard a car drive this way, past my house. But there's no road there, the road goes this way. And I just saw a sign mixed in with a bunch of other images Scattered Thoughts, but it said Crossroads on it. That was from basically 1 a.m. to 1:20 on March 20th. Jack. Jack, dog. Come here. You okay? You okay? So that was strange. Literally 1 second before I dropped the key, I woke up because I heard this scuttering in the room. And it was Jack. He came in and made a noise right literally at the same time I was dropping the key. But in my mind, I was looking at a horizon line, and I was able to reach out and grab part of it and pull it closer to me. And I remember reaching behind me and grabbing the horizon line behind me and pulling it this way, and a row of buildings, like they were on a track, came with it. It's just like, whoa! That was happening in a matter of seconds, and then Jack came in at the same time that I dropped the key. That's pretty... Okay, it is 1:45 in the morning on the morning of the 20th. So I changed my method a little bit. I decided to try this in the morning rather than late at night. And I had... So this time there was this procession of figures. They weren't really defined, but they seemed to all be showing me images of why I should give them the key. As that was happening, I could feel the key in my hand, and the form of it was changing. You know, it was like starting to like wrap around my finger and just change shape, and it felt like it was dripping out of my hands at time, or something was tugging on it. And then the key just felt alive. Eventually, like, the key just got too slippery and fell out of my hand. That was interesting. Also, I'm holding the key differently now. Before I was holding it like this, and I think my hand was relaxing too soon, and I was dropping the key too fast. My hand wasn't. But I think that my hand was relaxing too soon and waking me up too soon because I was not quite there in the right state. So now I turn it like that and hold it like that. I think it worked. It allowed me to kind of stay in that space longer than it did before. So. I'm so flirty. Okay. It bothered me how short my attention span was getting. So, what I've been doing is I'll take an image or an object, and honestly, the more mundane it is, the better, and I will discipline myself and force myself to stare at it for about 30 minutes. And after a few minutes I get bored, but then I look at it closer until I get some sense of a story or its history or purpose. You know, I do that once a day, and that grounds me pretty well. During the golden age of Hollywood, Kanab, Utah was the location for several films. It was chosen for its beautiful landscapes and its red rock mountains. And the Prairie Lodge Hotel housed the stars. They were there so long for production, they had individual rooms named after them where they stayed. I got Ruth Roman's keys. In the stillness of the room, I could imagine her sitting there, reading a book or a script, waiting for that phone call to come down to the set. Maybe she went down to the pool to lounge with her co-stars. So many creative minds relaxed and swam in this pool. As I floated there, I could still feel that energy. In Santa Fe, I woke up with a dead car battery that wouldn't hold a charge. The blonde girl in the room next to mine offered me a ride to the auto parts store, and we ended up spending the afternoon together. We were perfect strangers and our stories didn't matter. We went to galleries and cafes and talked about art. When we said goodbye, we knew we'd never hear from each other again. Before she checked out of her room, I left a book for her at the front desk as a gift on Native American symbology, which she was curious about. And then Jack and I drove onward to Elk City to stay at a room at the Ramada Inn that had alleged poltergeist activity. It was a bad decision. My car was the only one in the parking lot that was cracked and overrun with weeds. It was an expensive room, so I at least expected decent lodging. This place was a shithole. Sludge came out of the faucets, and I asked the man if he had any drinkable water, and he said no, but some was being brought in the morning. Jack always insists on being the first one into the room, But this time, he cowered in the parking lot, and I had to coax him into the room. The night manager refused to give me room 110, and he blamed it on the dog. But he was more than willing to give us the room right next door to it. Jack, come here. Come here, buddy. And we are in here. Come on, Jack. The oppressive feeling in that room got so intense that about 2 o'clock in the morning we decided to bail. There was this torrential rainstorm going on, and the streets were flooded. Kept getting lost and circling back to the hotel like some bad horror movie. It's right on the other side of this wall. I can feel it anyway. Something off about this place. I think you're a fucking coward for not talking to me. I'd had it in my mind for a while to build a Psychomanteum, which is a dark chamber with a mirror that's used to communicate with the dead, and I had the intention of building one when I got to Florida. As we went through antique stores and thrift stores, I had an eye out for a vintage mirror, something that carried a charge to it. When I'd asked the man over the phone if they had a pool, he said, "Yes, we do." I guess technically he wasn't lying. What a fucking dump.
It all has a purpose, well timed. All like lining up in these weird cycles, just like in such coincidences as everything pops up. It just lines up to certain sequences of other past situations in life, and it just continues to roll on and on. And the only reason I stopped doubting is because the coincidences and the synchronicities are just like.
So what the fuck happened to you in the last month, man, and propelled you to move back to Utah?
I don't want to live anywhere. I just want to move around fluidly. Get restless in one place. It's not my style. I just want to apologize. I hope I haven't given you and Matt too much weird behavior lately, but it just happens with me. I don't know to say about it. It is a beautiful sight. Dude, this place is fucking gorgeous. I'm gonna fucking miss the shit out of it.
Yeah.
The geography is completely seducing here. The whole fucking timing of all of this is just fucking weird. It was like collision, collide, course. Like, but in this collision, everybody went their own like way in their course, and it's all like seems to be more in the master plan of how things work with they already intended. I ran away from my parents' divorce to get married, ended up with a divorce, and then attracted several divorcees. All to come back here. All this is be fucked up and crazy and weird and just fucking like heal and just go on our own fucking weird ways and move on. I hope this place made a difference and some healing things. I mean, that was my intent with this whole fucking thing. I wanted a gypsy landing pad because I can't stay anywhere. If I do, I want all the rest of the people that can't stay anywhere to have a home while I have one. Amen.
Amen, bro.
Love all you motherfuckers. God damn it. I'm fucking reading out loud. Do this all like slow and dramatic so I can like fuck up. Slipping through cracks is especially on the regular menu. Switching headspace is a breath of fresh air. One must not forget hands, once spoken, twice, thrice, entwined words we say. Caught in a paradox, duality, confined in a confined space. Pair of beautiful doves, in sight of the same line, two birds with one stone, if not four. One or the other, in the same choice. Drastic difference in the fork of the road. Heart paralyzed in absolute beauty of indecision. Left or right. None refundable.
Close that window behind you. Let's try and cancel out as much background noise as we can.
Close the bathroom window.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do, we were going to go out to the desert to try and record the Tao's hum, but I think we hear it from in the hotel room. This is a computer-generated simulation of the Tao's hum. Now in my recording, if you listen underneath the sounds of the city, I think you can hear a similar wavelength. What do you think? Yeah. I mean, if it was something that was being generated here, it would be different volumes as we walked further away from it, but it's exactly the same volume everywhere I go. The staff at the front desk were very open about the paranormal experiences they'd had in the hotel, and they quickly directed us to one room in particular. They told me about a shadow figure that had been seen in that room. People didn't leave with a warm feeling.
The gal that was here earlier,
Mm-hmm.
she was in here the other night.
Yeah.
And the lights were shut off on her.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
The door's actually open. That's cool.
Oh, really?
That's odd.
Huh.
It's actually open. Like this hallway here. Yeah, it's a very
Thank you.
odd room, yeah.
Alright.
I guess the woman a couple months ago isn't the first one to see the shadow in the hallway here either, so.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody in here. Now, if there is anyone in this room would like to communicate with us, we would love to be able to do that. We want to be able to talk to you. And we can do that if you push your energy toward the flashlight on the bed, which is right. Very good. You nailed it. That is exactly how you do it. Now, if you can pull back from it, pull your energy away from it, it'll go back off. And then I could ask you another question. Almost. Keep going.
A little bit more.
You gotta pull away from it.
There you go.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Did you used to live here on the property? Did you pass away here on the property? Okay. All right. Were you a patient of Dr. Martin's? He did treat people in his home. Okay. Can you turn it back off for me? Thank you. Do you like being able to communicate with us like this?
Are you still here?
There we go. If you can make a sound for us,
Or a knocking, yeah, like that.
a knocking or a tapping. Two knocks. I heard those too. If that was you that knocked 2 times, can you tell me by turning on the flashlight again?
Right.
Thank you.
Welcome to my Psychomanteum. This woman's vanity mirror is a family heirloom. It belonged to my mother's mother. I have several dead relatives I'd like to contact in some way. Maybe this mirror could provide that link. This is a poor man's mirror, dating from about 1850 to 1880. This mirror didn't see the good life or much opulence, but it did see this country being born, and that's important to me. This mirror belonged to one of my neighbors. She died of a drug overdose in her bedroom, and this mirror witnessed that. No, I don't expect apparitions to appear in front of me, and you shouldn't either. I don't expect anything. It's my understanding that this is more of an internal experience anyway, and oftentimes something will happen after the session's over somewhere else that somehow correlates to what you were looking for in here. So I will just report everything I can. It started as an electric blue flame moving around the edges of the mirror, and it slowly reached out into the room. As I meditated, sounds became amplified. I could hear all of my neighbors around me. I could sense their frustration, their exhaustion, their relief in lighting a cigarette, their doubt, and I empathized with them. And as these sensations increased, it felt as if the unseen world was becoming more aware of me and my ability to tap into it. I stared unflinchingly at myself, and gradually, my eyes no longer recognized my face, nor did they care to. They were old, ancient, sometimes animalistic, not precisely human. A watcher. I could see myself blending in with rocks and trees. Even though my form and bodies would change, the eyes remained the same. Always the same eyes. Engaged, but from a distance. As if calculating patterns. For that was my purpose. My face would come and go, but the eyes remain. I then gazed into the mirror of the drug addict, and I saw myself as a 10-year-old boy on the day my childhood ended, when I fractured inside. I have faced the dark side of that boy for far too long. I've come to terms with him. Now I have to rediscover that bright, creative kid that had so much love in his heart. Even when the world kicked it around and stepped on it, he held on to it and learned how to hide it in safe places, wrapped up in works of art, for the intuitive ones to find. I want for him to be whole again, and never forget what that rejected boy learned along the way. I arrived late to the Bois de Chena. It must have been just past midnight and everybody was asleep. A young Indian man named Ravi, who helped run the business, cooked me a simple meal. We talked for a while. It was the definition of hospitality. Expectations are the only cause of disappointment, so I try not to have them. There are no perfectly ideal situations, so rather than complain, I choose to accept each of them for what they are. All anxiety is tied to thoughts of the future, and you and I will never see that. We will only see right now. We have basic rights as human beings, but we're not entitled to anything. Your ego may tell you otherwise, but it's lying. By its very nature, ego is a liar. It says it's there to protect you, but in the end it only hurts you. If you can live in the present, without an agenda, without entitlement, you will stop differentiating things that happen to you as good or bad. You will see them all as positive because you learn from all of them.
You on my heart, buddy. The whole thing. I'm doing all my heart, sir. You're a good boy. A proper gentleman.
In 1861, St. Vincent's was built as an orphanage for children who lost their parents to scarlet fever. I know you're probably tired, Jack Dog, but do you want to go on an adventure? Sadly, many of the children here died from the fever as well. Jack and I wandered the halls late at night. I didn't hear or see anything. I just felt sadness. This building simply had a broken heart. So in a month, someone's buying this place, and they're taking everything out. They're gonna renovate this whole building. Might be your last chance to talk to someone. It's all gonna be gone soon. Tell me how you feel. If you're here, tap on something. If the St. Vincent guest house is haunted, I think it's residual echoes rather than something intelligent. And that's based on the claims that people hear children running and laughing down the halls. The only solace they had was each other's companionship before they passed. And so it seems in death as well. We're in the thick of it now, Jack. We are in the thick of it.
They get Nancy to get on the road.